we asked Mike Charles to explain just how Edusen can help the parents of children with special needs.
I've practiced in special needs law for many years and have come to appreciate that parents of children with special needs often don't know where to turn and in some cases simply can't afford to consult professionals. Often they're left having to accept whatever learning programme has been drafted for their child, and even though on some occasions they feel it's insufficient. Special needs lawyers are scarce and advice deserts exist the further afield you are from major cities. Some parents at the same time are worried about going to see a lawyer due to the fear of costs. Others have not even heard of education lawyers and didn't know such legal assistance was available to them. I have felt for many years that a lot of costs could be saved if parents were more certain of the support that they want for their child from the outset. Anyone dealing in education will tell you that the job of gathering information is extremely time-consuming, and this in itself can present considerable costs for a parent who wants to embark on a legal process, or indeed use lawyers to try and negotiate on their behalf. Even when parents take the steps to seek advice and legal representation, their next challenge is choosing the right experts and making sure they have the right type of support which fits the individual requirements for their child. I have thought for many years that it must be possible to save parents the costs of going through the process of the initial discussion with the lawyers and setting out the facts as they see them, and in such a way that will assist the lawyer in identifying how best to draft a learning programme. By the time a lawyer has done this, it might take anything from 5 to 15 hours of work to draft a document that incorporates and in many respects represents the viewpoints of professionals around the world. The average lawyer in this subject might charge anything from £200 per hour, so the job of simply getting the ball rolling could set a parent back of a few £1,000s at the start. Edusen aims not only to reach out to parents who wouldn't normally be able to instruct a lawyer, perhaps due to costs or the absence of specialist services near to their homes, and will substantially reduce the overall cost of embarking on a legal process.
The odds and the costs appear to be stacked against parents, and the risk is that without the right guidance and the support they need, the local authorities will often pull the wool over the parents' eyes, and this can result in a situation where their child will not get the specific learning provision they require.
It's often the case that when facing a local authority and their experts, the information goes right over the parent's head and they end up having to just accept what the local authority is telling them. This should not be acceptable, but if it does happen, the main impact is on the child and their future.
When we decided to get professional help, it was a tremendous support. You just felt that there was somebody there to hold your hand, if you like, through this very, very complex process. And it gave you confidence as well, in that knowing that there was somebody there that was an expert. I suppose we could relax a little bit more in that, knowing that what we wanted to say could then be said, obviously, in the right ways. You know, something that we probably wouldn't.
You had someone on your side,
yes,
fighting your corner.
Fantastic.
And what about adults with special needs, as they face a similar challenge to ensure they get the right learning provision to meet their requirements?
In certain countries, the laws also extend to adults, such as, for example, in England and Wales, where the Learning and Skills Council have an obligation to provide support for those who have left school. So, the Edusen programme can be used by adults up to the age of 25 who might seek to determine through using the programme the type of support that they should be expecting through their local college or through extra provision that might be available to them through the Learning and Skills Council.
So, can this programme be used by anyone intending to fight his or her local authority?
What I'm saying is that for anyone who has a child with special needs, or even an adult who may have special needs and perhaps not completely sure the best route for their child and themselves, Edusen could assist them negotiating with the funding bodies to determine what should in fact go into the learning programme. Then, if a parent or adult is minded to go down the legal process, a lot of costs could be saved in having a document that encapsulates not only what is wanted and what the child or person needs, but also the material facts that anyone who is seeking to advise would want to ascertain from the parent at the outset, which is often a time-consuming exercise, and when something is time-consuming, obviously the more costs can be incurred.
But couldn't the advice and guidance for special needs learning provision be gathered from other sources or alternative services to the Edusen programme?
I don't know of any other programme that seeks to provide guidance in this way. Of course, there's a lot of information available over the internet, but the job of collating that information from various sources and tailoring it to the individual needs of the child is something that is often beyond the capability of any lay person who hasn't been involved in the subject. I don't know of any other programme that seeks to incorporate in an automated fashion the ideas and views that I've held following many years of working in this area, and then being able to deliver that information and guidance to a parent in the form of a tailored written document at the touch of a button. I truly believe that this is the first step in the process of revolutionising the way in which we give help and guidance to parents in a manner that brings experts into every home, no matter where you live, provided you have access to a computer and a desire to achieve the best outcome. Parents can use the document to demonstrate what a body of professionals believe would be most suitable for a child that exhibits those difficulties, and this can assist them with any legal process which follows as a consequence.
I've actually used the Edusen software, and I was amazed at how simple it is. The information that you already have available, whether that information was given to you by a therapist or a clinician, you just type the information in and it spits out a statement with a pathway and everything that would have taken a huge amount of money and a huge amount of time in the past. It's remarkable.
I'm very excited about the Edusen programme and the benefit it can bring for children and adults with special needs all over the world.
So, there you have it. The Edusen programme is a first in revolutionising the way in which we use the internet to provide help and assistance to people who need it. It will no doubt serve as a vital tool that could be used by schools themselves to help them draft IEPs or other forms of learning programmes. I'm certainly confident that this Edusen programme is the first step in bringing expert help and assistance directly into people's homes, making it more affordable and far more accessible. I'm sure that Edusen will ultimately live up to its aims to continue research into educational practice and thereby adopting similar principles in the cited legislative aims in New Zealand, which perhaps epitomises the aims of governments throughout the world, to ensure that people who have special needs have the same rights to enrol and to receive education as people who do not. By trying it yourself, I'm sure you will agree that Edusen is one more step in the right direction to ensure and guarantee that such sensible principles do not remain simple aims, but become reality.